Hive Troop and friends around the world and back again. I'm just coming on to do another quick update, actually a video. Not an update because I actually haven't done it before. Upcycling of your Costa Coffee cups. And I know that Costa do really work hard at upcycling, and I think that's great, not just with their coffee cups but with their grounds as well, which I do use in my garden or my container garden. But the other day when my niece came and her friend, they ascended some coffee cups which we were gonna put in the recycling bin. However, I then realised that I needed some more pots for a very overzealous aloe vera plant that I've got. And the aloe vera plant that I've got, which I've had about 9 years now, I think I would call a female plant. I've got another plant exactly the same that's in my bathroom that produces absolutely beautiful big aloe gel leaves, which I use in my juices. But this little plant that I've had about 9 years was given to me from a pup, and a pup is a baby aloe plant. Now, this plant has produced over the years, I dread to think how many, hundreds and hundreds of babies. But the plant pot that I've got now with it in is absolutely overrun with them, and they're still producing babies. So I've had to come up with an idea of parting them, but I don't like plain pots, right? I don't know about you, but I just don't like plain pots. So when these came to me, I thought, I wonder if I could use them. And what it turned out was, yes, you can. And now I've decorated them so they don't look like Costa coffee cups, which is even better. So how this originally started, it wasn't with the Costa cups actually. It was with, for those of you in England, a pot noodle pot. And that's a pot noodle pot. And I was using these to start off my seedlings, and I painted them just cream and used them to start my seedlings off, or at least plant my seedlings on when they've got a little bit bigger. So of course that gave me the idea, I don't want to recycle that because it's not recyclable, it's hard plastic. And the Costa coffee cups, even though they are recyclable, I thought, well, why would I want to? When the inside is actually, obviously the whole cup is heat resistant and non-porous, so I'm not going to lose any water out of here. If I used it as an actual cup for planting, I would put some holes in the bottom, put a bit of grit in, fill it up with soil, and put my seedlings or my plants straight in there. So that was one idea, but I didn't want it for that because I've already planted on these. I've got 5 planted on. I've still got about 15 to do, but I'd planted on 5 of these baby aloe plants. So there's the baby plant that I've planted, and I think there's about a 5-inch pot. I don't know, don't quote me on that because I haven't actually measured it. I've got a ruler here somewhere, but I actually haven't measured it. But it's only a small pot, not a tiny, tiny pot. Oh, sorry, was you out of frame then? But you put it inside and it fits perfectly. Just absolutely perfect. It's like the pot was made for the pot. So I decided to decorate my pots, which is where I'm going with this. And even in the, they even fit nicely in the pot noodle pot. So how I started off, I'd got these 3 that my niece had bought. I think she must have bought this tall one as well because I don't drink, I don't go to Costa. So I decided, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to decorate them? Because there were so many options that I didn't know which one to do, so I did a variety of them. So this tall one, which I think has turned out absolutely great, and with my planting it looks amazing. I didn't realise at first that the actual label of the Costa label actually does just come off, okay? So, and underneath is just a cream cup, just a plain cream cup. This one hasn't been painted, it's just been stamped on. And they're pretty sturdy. So, on this one, I got my soft mould, I don't know what you call these, I did a video on it a couple of weeks back. Soft mould, soft, what's it called? It's like a clay, but it's soft and it's flexible. Obviously because my hard clay wouldn't actually bend round the pot. So I got all these ones that I'd made, apart from that one, and I stuck them all on the pot. Be it that I did this in a back to front order, I should have painted it first and then stuck everything on, but I didn't. So I stuck all the hot glued on the leaves, and then I painted it black, and then I kind of whitewashed it to make it look really old and grungy. And that's my result, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm sure my pot will be. That was the first design that I did, because it doesn't, you know, it's just better than a plain pot. And then the second one was obvious, was to decoupage. So I've decoupaged these, both the same napkin, but different, if that makes sense, the different parts of the napkin, so that it doesn't look like it does look like it's the same napkin, and this one I've left some white bits. And again, I haven't painted that pot. That's exactly the colour of the pot underneath the Costa label. There were my two other pots, and then I thought I'm going to try a stamp. I've got a beautiful script stamp. Now the problem I've got with this is that I didn't look at the colour of the pad that I was using. I thought it was black because I didn't have my glasses on, but it's turned out to be brown. But anyway, still vintage script, so I've stamped all the way around the pot. A little bit random as well. And that's my other one. So just when you thought your Costa coffee cup was recyclable up the dump and into the landfill, it is, but there's an even better way of doing it. So for even container gardeners or gardeners that grow lots of seeds or plants, use these. Go and grab yourself a coffee, or even, I would have said, if you go to your local Costa, because they're so up on upcycling, they're bound to give you some that have gone in the trash, providing you wash them out, because these are like a wax inside. I don't know what the coating is inside these, but they're ever so sturdy, and make great, as you can see, well, I think they do, make great plant holders. And again, you don't have to have plant pots. You know, I'd already potted mine on when I realised I could have just used this. And to save on soil, what I'm going to do with the next probably 15 of them is get some more of these. Not that I'm going to drink 15 cups of coffee in the next week or so, but I'm going to go to my local Costa to say, can I have any that are on the tables that people have not quite put in the trash yet? Wash them out and take them with me. And I'm going to fill it half up with gravel and then half up with soil, so I'm still only using that much soil, and I will put holes in the bottom just to plant the rest on, because the crazy thing is that even these aloe vera pups are going to pup. So at some point I am going to be running an aloe vera farm. I'm only joking, but that's the concept anyway. So don't get throwing them away, even though they are upcyclable, or they do go to landfill because they can break down. Don't, just use them as plant pots, and you can decorate them however you want. The same goes with these pot noodly things. You could actually decorate that up further, and put lace on it, put twine around it, put an image on it. The world's your oyster, but it doesn't have to go to landfill is the answer to that, which is awesome in my book. Anyway, I just thought I'd come and share that with you. So before you throw anything in the bin, ask yourself, what can I do with this pot? You know, we can't get away from buying stuff that is pre-packaged, but we can think about how we can then use that packaging. So a lot of the stuff now is starting to, especially in the UK, I don't know about other countries, but we are finally starting to get there, that there are companies out there who will recycle certain types of plastic, and so that's good, but there's all that stuff out there that isn't still recyclable. So start using it, and if you can't, then You know, find a gardener who probably can. Go to an allotment and ask, instead of them buying new pots. You know, get them to upcycle old pots and Costa coffee cups. So thank you to Costa. They haven't sponsored me or anything on this, but it just came to me that these were amazing pots to use. And I'll try anything once. If it doesn't work, then I've not lost anything. But this actually did work for a change. Not for a change, because I love my pot noodle pots. I have to raid a friend's larder for those once they've eaten them. I don't eat that sort of food, but these are just great. I just love this. I just absolutely love it. So I'll leave that with you, my friends. Thank you for joining me, and hope you'll join me again soon. Bye for now.